Hey, what's going down? We got another tutorial here. We're doing a textured top with a drop fade. So I'm starting my first guideline just a little bit above the ear, or at the ear I guess you could say, and I'm dropping it down below the occipital area. So we got the clipper blade all the way open, and I'm making another guideline above the previous one, and I'm going up about an inch. So now we're closing it halfway, and I'm going all the way up to the line that I made with my clipper all the way open. Close it down a quarter, go all the way up to the line that we made with the clipper halfway closed. Now we're closing it all down and blending that out. So I got my number one guard, it's all the way open, and I'm making another guideline right above the previous one, and I'm going about another inch up. Sorry for the janky camera angle, by the way. So we're going to close the one all the way down, and I'm going to go all the way up to the line that I made with my number one open. Now I've got my half guard of my 1/16. I'm closing it down halfway, and I'm going to go ahead and take it all the way up to the line that I made with my one closed. And pretty much always, it blends it out for the most part, but I usually always have to go back with the clipper blade all the way open, kind of hit it with the corners a little bit, and blend it out completely. Got my number two guard. I'm going to close it all the way down, and I'm making another guideline from the previous one and going another inch. That's going to be the last guideline that I make. Again, sorry for this crappy camera angle. I wasn't paying attention to my camera when I was cutting, but hopefully we fix the situation. Finishing up, there's my number two all the way closed. Now I got my 1.5 guard. I'm closing it down halfway, and I'm going right up to the line that I made with my number two closed. And just like with the half guard, it doesn't completely blend out, so I'm going to go in with my number one all the way open, and I'm going to go right up to the line that I made with my 1.5 halfway open. Try and blend that out. His head's a little funky, it's got some dips, it bulges out on the sides, so the number one all the way open isn't cutting it, so I'm gonna close it down a little bit. I'm gonna go back up to that line that I made, close it down a little bit more, just hit that problem area, try and blend out that dark spot. We're gonna close it down just a bit more, and I believe we're all the way closed, and I'm using the corners of my one closed to blend out that completely. We're going to wet them down. A little trick that I like to use when I'm making my partings on the hair, I like to rest the comb on the apex of the head and split the hair into two parts. I like to do that because if they have a cowlick on the back of their head, we're going to keep length and we're going to keep weight in that area to hold that cowlick down and give us less trouble when styling. So now I'm just making up my partings. This is going to be my guide for pretty much the entire haircut right there. He likes to do kind of a messier top, not too short. So we're just cutting him down, and then we're going to start working from one half of the head to the other using our guideline that we just made. 90-degree angles on the whole head, whether angling up, to the side, towards the back, all 90 degrees. As you can see, as we get towards the back of the head, maintaining length is kind of the goal. Because like I said before, if they have a cowlick, length is your best friend. If you're dealing with a bad cowlick, you're either going to want to cut it super short, or you want to keep it a little bit longer so you have weight to hold that sucker down. He fortunately doesn't have too bad of a cowlick. His hair actually lays down super good, but just for demonstration purposes. And I mean, this is pretty much I use the same technique when I'm cutting any head. If they do have cowlicks, I'm a little more conscious about what I'm doing, making sure I'm not removing too much weight or too much length. So as you can see, we're getting them all blended in. Once we're finished with the top, we're going to start connecting everything. So right now I'm splitting the hair into 2 quadrants, just splitting it right down the middle. This is what we're going to do to connect the top of the hair to the sides. And just like before, 90 degrees out. I like to maintain a square shape on his head, like really emphasize the squareness, because his head kind of gets narrow towards the top, and if you don't watch what you're doing, you'll give him that Bert and Ernie look. So squareness is key for this haircut. So now we're blow drying his hair. We're about to connect the fade to the top of the hair. So we're going clipper over comb. I'm scooping in with the comb, trying to maintain that square shape. What I like to do is I like to rest the back of the comb on the widest part of the head, on the side of the head, and then angle the teeth towards me, maintaining a square shape, and cutting the excess hair. This will keep you from getting those dips from the outer part of the head to the top, and having to blend that in and just kind of ruining your square shape. So he's got really thin, fine hair, so I like to use clipper over comb for the majority of it, and then we'll just get in there and kind of finesse it with the blending shears. And I don't go too far into the hair. I'm pretty much just hitting the ends, shattering those ends, getting that nice blend. I usually save the bangs for last. I don't know why I do it. It's just kind of the last step in every haircut. I'll usually pull them all the way out towards the 90 degrees away from the head, as always. Cut them to the length I want, and just kind of follow a pie shape around the front of his head. So when I comb it down, there's no under layers or anything like that. Everything's nice and symmetrical. Now I'm just kind of cleaning up the top of the hair, looking for any small tails that might be giving me any problems when I go to style. Put a little bit of texture. It's a texture top. His hair is really fine, so I don't go too crazy with the texture. I just kind of texturize the ends, so when we go to style it, you get that real PC textury look to it. Throw in a little bit of matte cream. He doesn't like the whole slick look. Mess it up a little bit, and that's pretty much all she wrote, man. That's a textured top with a drop fade.